Joining us today, we welcome Carolyn Hull. She is the General Manager of the Economic and Workforce Development Department, or the EWDD. We're so glad to have you with us, Carolyn.
It's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, glad to have you. You became the General Manager of the EWDD in February of 2020. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you were thrown right into the fight. You were what, on the job for a month or?
Little over a month.
Before COVID?
Before COVID.
Regulations started.
Correct.
Okay, in those days where new things were being implemented, what are some of the things that you continue to use now that came about because of the coronavirus crisis?
Well, thank you for that question. One of the things we learned rather rapidly is that disasters do not know political jurisdictions and boundaries. So we have to immediately collaborate with partners from the state, from the county, philanthropy, bringing the big tent together so that we can all work towards solving the problem. Mm-hmm. And that is something that we have implemented going forward in every situation that requires a rapid response. So we work really closely with the Emergency Management Department and the county and the state, and that's been really helpful in terms of kind of having a relief response to these issues.
Give us an overview of what the EWDD does. What's sort of in your purview as a department?
The Economic and Workforce Development Department develops, delivers, and promotes programs and initiatives that support small businesses, that support youth development. We also have a real estate division that actually activates underutilized land so that we can provide revenue to the general fund. And we have a nationally recognized workforce development division that provides job training. We provide access to capital. We support incubators, and we work with a collection of nonprofits. And so, for example, in our WorkSource centers, we have 17 nonprofits that support us in doing job training and job placement. We work very closely with the community colleges and adult training centers because really our goal is to provide the residents of the City of Los Angeles with an opportunity to have a sustainable and living wage.
Yeah. What's your main focus for 2025?
Our main focus for 2025 is doubling down on what we do, which is support workers and small businesses. And we're going to do that by leveraging the resources that we currently have in order to make sure that the residents and the job seekers in Los Angeles can take advantage of the major events that are coming. You might have heard that the Olympics are coming.
I have heard, yes.
And we have many small businesses that are interested in being part of that experience by providing goods and services. We have youth that want to participate in getting internships and jobs. And so we are going to use what we do every day to ensure that the residents and the businesses in the City of Los Angeles can take part in that major event. And that's not the only major event that's happening. We have the FIFA World Cup. We have the Super Bowl coming back. So there's lots of opportunities for us to work together.
How do you support small business?
We have a series 10 business source centers, and through that collaboration, they gain access to capital. They have free technical support. We provide loans to small businesses as well. But the most important thing is that they're the resource that our small businesses can reach out to, that are free services, and that they have one-on-one consultation.
Yeah, which is hard to find.
Which is very hard to find.
We were talking a little earlier about some of the things that have happened since COVID. And there's been, as always with any metropolitan place, there's a series of events that, may they be natural disasters or man-made or whatever. Your department actually goes in and helps the small businesses that are surrounding the area that has been affected. You're first responders, basically.
We are an emergency management division, and in fact, we have what we call a rapid response team. Our rapid response team is federally mandated and funded, and we go immediate on-site services for both job seekers and businesses, so that they're able to understand what resources are available. If we're standing up relief funds, we're able to assist them in developing the applications. If there's been a downsizing or a closure, we can assist the job seekers in their applications for unemployment services. seeking other job placements.
Yeah. The big news, one of the big news stories here in Southern California has been that the 99-cent stores have gone under. In a situation like that, what would be or what has been, your department's response to helping out the folks who were employed by the 99-cent stores? It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. We immediately went into, I believe, 31 locations around the city and worked and helped over 400 employees, assist them in job placement, talking to them about training, and also the small business. Many of those are franchises.
Yeah.
So talking to the actual business owners about how we can support them in making sure that they get the resources that they need for to closing down the store.
And what are some of those resources? Like what goes beyond just the initial, we're going in to get these people moved into these different departments, giving them access to things they might not have had access to before, phone numbers and people who can help, that type of thing. What other types of things are you, like you're helping the franchisees with?
Looking at their business plan, helping them gain access to capital. Oftentimes the franchise owners don't realize that they can go to a community development financial institution. They don't know that there are resources both within the city, like our community development block grant funds, that they can utilize to start up either a new business, to think about job training, to go on to that next phase.
Do you work strictly with companies based or located here in the city of Los Angeles, or does your reach extend beyond that?
We primarily work with businesses in the city of Los Angeles, but we do our incubators. We have several incubators that we support, and those incubators, like the Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator, Alta-C down at the port, because that reach is about creating technology and moving in innovation. We work with businesses that are interested in locating to Los Angeles, and we also work with the mayor's office in retention and attraction to the Los Angeles area.
Needed. It's much needed.
Much needed.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about the incubators. What is that?
Well, oftentimes what we look at is innovation, and we have several incubators that we provide services, oftentimes free of charge, where if you have an idea, you go into an incubator and you get mentored, you get legal services in an effort to take your idea and germinate that so that you can actually move on and expand.
Is there a monetary component to that, or you help them find, well, if you need a loan for your small business, you can help them find that small business loan?
The incubator itself, we support, as EWDD supports the incubators, and the incubators themselves then work with the small business owners or the entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And have the entrepreneurs mentor them. One of the most important things about the incubator is that you have access to what we call serial entrepreneurs, so that you can learn from other people's mistakes.
Exactly. And successes,
and
but
successes.
Mostly mistakes, yeah. Do you partner specifically with other people or companies in order to get job training for folks?
We do. We partner. One of our biggest partners is the community college system. In fact, we're co-located. Our work source centers and our youth source centers, many of them are co-located at community colleges, and that allows us to leverage the resources for training, bringing in new courses. We work really closely with adult training centers, and we have numerous nonprofits that, like to name a few, Vermont Sloss and EDC, CRCD, PACE, and others that are full service in terms of the services they provide.
Talk a little bit more about the Work Source Center. What exactly is that?
The Work Source Centers, it's like a matching service for job seekers and employers. If you're a job seeker, you can go into one of our 17 Work Source Centers and you can get assistance with building your resume, get assistance with doing mock interviews, job placement, understanding what training you're going to need, and it's all free. And if you're an employer and you're seeking employees, you can come to the Work Source Center and talk about the skills that you're looking for. And if that skill set is not easily attainable, we can work with the job seekers and actually subsidize their training.
These Work Source Centers are located on college campuses, you said?
Not all of them, but several of them.
Okay, so of the 17 that you said you have here in Southern California, we can get online and find out where the rest of them are.
Absolutely.
Okay. let's shout out that website real quick. It's ewdd.lacity.gov.
That is correct.
And then they'll take you, from there. Does the work of the Economic and Workforce Development Department extend into street vendors?
It does. We have a street vending program that we are collaborating with the county to start up.
Okay.
And that, again, is we're providing street vendors with much of the same assistance that we have at our business source centers, which is technical assistance, providing them with funding to pay for their carts and permitting support. So really, street vendors are quite frankly just small businesses.
Yeah, they are. That's true. Let's talk a little bit about the wildfire recovery here in Southern California. You guys were probably on the spot pretty quick. We were working with our emergency management department. I believe the day after the fire, we were already working with them closely to start mapping out a plan for how we were going to support the businesses that were impacted and the workers. What's an example of some of the things that you would come up with in a situation like that for the businesses and the workers? One of the most important things is immediate relief. When your business has been shut down, if you're a worker that can no longer get to work, and that means that there's an immediate cash flow, that's a problem. So one of the critical things that we did is going back to our COVID experiences, activating our partners and working with various levels of government, and we're very thankful for our relationship with the County of Los Angeles and with the state and with philanthropy. And we put together a fund where we got a total of about $21 million, a little less than $21 million. Okay. And we were able to provide those funds in grants to impacted workers and to small businesses. Now, and the thing about the relief fund is that it has to be quick, because you have to get the money. It's not meant to solve all the problems, but it is meant to be relief. And so having that network in place, like we did, what we learned from COVID, was really crucial in standing up that relief fund. So that is one of those things that came out of COVID, where you realize that these people we can't wait. This has to be a stopgap. Absolutely. That was a direct we directly learned that from COVID. Yeah. We have to act immediately. Right. We have to be pointed in figuring out how we can get the services to the individuals and workers that are needed, and how to do that effectively. It's in order to make sure that you have the databases in place and you have everything, the technical expertise, in order to get that money out the door to the right people immediately, or as quickly as possible. Are there still resources available for workers and businesses that were affected by the wildfires, people that maybe didn't come forward immediately but are still in need of those types of things? There are resources and grants that have been stood up by various nonprofits, and we have a resource page that you can get to from our website. Our fund closed March 31st, but we're looking to make sure that we're going to be able to probably put together additional funds as we go forward. We can work with us on our Business Source Center and our Work Source Center to have access to other capital. As time passes, people may realize, and I'm talking about people directly impacted by the wildfires, they might need legal aid. Does your department help in something like that as well? We have a legal aid program that we're working with Dept, and those services are free. That legal aid program is mostly set up for small businesses to go in and to get services. But again, free services from Dept to help small businesses figure out what their next steps could be. And they're not necessarily lawyers on the spot who will help them. It's a way to go find what kind of legal help you might need. It's an intake. Yeah. So you'll go get the intake, but Dept does have legal services that would be lawyers that would be available. Okay. You talked a little bit about your Youth Source Center. Yeah. You've had a grand opening of a few that are, like you said, co-located on community colleges and on the campuses. How have those been received? How is that going?
Our co-location at the community colleges has been a huge success.
Yes.
Because oftentimes we're dealing with youth that have been touched by the justice system, or they have not finished high school, and so they're seeking and searching for that next phase. And by co-locating on a community college, you actually have counselors who can support the youth in terms of looking at the training programs, looking at community college courses, and providing kind of the full service to the young adults, because we want to treat we want to take care of the whole individual and see where they're needed, what services are needed. And we also provide wraparound services as well.
Wraparound services meaning, what is that?
If you're a student and you need assistance with books, if you need assistance with, if you're going to a construction training program and you need construction boots, we provide some of those services. And one of the critical items that we're able to supply is childcare support.
Yes, absolutely. For folks who want to get that support on a community college-based campus, do they have to go in person?
No, you have virtual options. If you go to our website, you go to EWDD.lacity.gov, it'll direct you to virtual options.
Okay, so you don't necessarily have to be able to travel to the community college, because it's not an option for everybody.
No, you don't. We have virtual options.
Oh, that's awesome. Are those permanently located on the community college campus, or is that something that's going to maybe come and go?
The virtual options?
No, the actual WorkSource Center.
No, they are at this moment permanently located on the community colleges. And they're not just at community colleges. We have WorkSource centers that are located at different areas throughout the city as well.
Of course, and all of that information is available at EWDD.lacity.gov.
That's right.
You can find that all there. Let's talk a little bit about the JEDI zone. First of all, terrific name. So clever. JEDI stands for Jobs and Economic Development Incentive Zone. Correct?
That's
yes,
right.
That's correct. I had to check my work. What happens what is a JEDI zone? What happens there?
What we found is that so many of our main streets are so vital to what makes LA for all of us. And so many of those main streets and communities need support for their small businesses. So what we did is we looked at communities and areas that were underserved, were challenged with high vacancy rates for their stores, and quite frankly, just needed a refurbishment and revitalization. So instead of looking at the city as a whole, what we did is try to concentrate resources into those areas so that it'd be most impactful.
Okay, so you're looking at areas that need help. They need improvement for their facade? They need improvement. What sort of improvement are you talking about making?
Well, a few things. One, in the JEDI zones, you get concierge services. We actually have staff that has walked to every business in these JEDI zones to get them engaged so that we can answer their questions. And so now they have a person in government that they can talk to, which is so critical. So when we go into a JEDI zone, our coordinators will sit down and do an intake. What are your needs? And we have programs, of course, but we want to find out, what do you need? And then we will find those services for you. We'll work with you to find those services either within government or outside of government. So for example, if you want to put up a sign, getting a permit for the sign in the city of Los Angeles is not the easiest thing to do, but really important for a business owner.
Yes.
So our concierge service will help the business owner work through the bureaucracy to get the permits that they need in order to put up the sign. Another element is commercial facades. We are looking at putting together a grant program so that the commercial facades can be completed. And we're working with a nonprofit organization that helps us with the architects and putting together all the material that an owner would need in order to do the facade.
So there is some incentive on the other end, such as there's permit fee reduction. There's things like that.
Correct.
That folks can get in on.
And often, what we found during COVID, one of the biggest challenges for small businesses that they were not set up for many small businesses were not set up for credit card only transactions. So during COVID, we learned that one of the best things that we could give small businesses is the Square, so that now it gives them the opportunity to actually do credit card transactions. So in a JEDI zone, that's one of the incentives or services that one can receive.
That's amazing. That's amazing to come upon that. Compliance assistance is something no one ever wants to hear about, but it's absolutely necessary, especially in a city like Los Angeles.
Absolutely, and oftentimes our small businesses are so busy just running their business
Right.
that they don't even realize they're out of compliance. So having the ability again to have that concierge service with someone who can directly interface with the government system and get answers for the entrepreneur, the small business owner in a language that they can understand. And that's another thing I should point out, that all of our services are in language. Our nonprofit work source centers and business source centers work in a plethora of languages.
Yeah. You'll go find it. You'll go find the person who speaks the language that needs to be.
Exactly, whether it's Spanish, Armenian, whatever language that is,
Sure.
we will find the individual that can communicate with you in the language that you feel comfortable with.
I love the thought of concierge service. I mean, just the term makes it it's very upscale. I love that. The folks who are providing that concierge service, are they volunteers, or are they people who actually work within the EWDD department?
They work within EWDD.
Okay.
And they go out and provide their coordinators. Our concierge, our workers at EWDD, when we go out to the JEDI zones, they know the names of the people who are working at EWDD.
I love that. Yeah, it's personalized service.
It's a personalized service.
Yes, of course, because your neighborhood is, it's part of something much larger, but it's your neighborhood. It's a
your
small
neighborhood.
area. Right.
And that's what we're here for. We're here to support and make sure that LA thrives.
Yeah, and yes, it absolutely needs to. You are running on it seems very stressful, your job, but because you never know when the next either natural disaster or just regular run-of-the-mill disaster is coming along. You credit your upbringing in New York as helping you get there in a half a heartbeat. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
When you grow up in Brooklyn and Jersey City, I'll give credit to both areas.
Shout out. That's right.
You learn how to be nimble and quick and figure out the situation rather rapidly.
When you took this job as general manager, did you think you were going to need to use those skills as quickly as you did 6 weeks later?
Oh, I didn't even know where the bathrooms were. No, I
Absolutely.
So no, it did not occur to me that we were going to go into Jersey City mode.
Jersey City mode. Let's get some T-shirts made. Let's talk a little bit about the youth and adult job fairs.
We are gearing up for our summer youth employment right now. And during the summer months, those are the big months for when we try to get our youth employed and into internships.
Okay, so they can go on your website. Of course, it's ewdd.lacity.gov. But more importantly, for the youth, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, for all of those who have access to social media,
and LinkedIn.
And is it LAEWDD? Is it that simple?
That's right.
Okay, so Instagram, you go on there, and folks are going to find where the next job fair is going to be.
Absolutely, and I would encourage our youth to go to our social media page and to keep posted on the events that we are hosting.
Yeah, you guys do a lot of events around the city.
We do a number of events, and this is job fair season.
Yeah.
So please stay connected with us on social media.
When someone plans on going to a job fair, especially a young adult who may not have a lot of guidance in their life, should they go prepared to do an interview on the spot?
They should. They should come prepared to be interviewed on the spot.
Nice.
We try to make it as easygoing as possible.
Sure.
So they shouldn't worry about going and buying a suit.
Right.
Just come as you are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I love it. Okay. Any other partnerships and collaborations with EWDD that you guys have over there that you'd like to speak more about?
Well, EWDD is working really closely with the mayor's office to develop strategies around the next 5 years of our workforce system and looking at those industries that are going to be the job generators for the next 20, 25 years. Stay tuned. We'll be coming back with a lot more information on that.
A lot more information. I love that. Carolyn, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, Carolyn is the General Manager for the Economic and Workforce Development Department. We have shouted out a couple things while we've been here. I'm going to do it again. For more information, the best place to go is your website.
That's correct.
Which is ewdd.lacity.gov. But also, as we mentioned, you guys are big on social media. I've noticed some of your staff that you brought with you is quite young.
Yes. Yes. And that's why we have a presence on social media.
I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, because an old person like me is like, is that on Facebook or some other random site? But you guys are on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn. All the information that anybody could need about the services you folks offer over there is there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we look forward to interacting with all of our job seekers and our youth.
Very good. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for coming in. We're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And that does it for this edition of LA Currents. I'm Ann Pulice. We're going to see you next time.